What is up, everybody? My name is Toke and welcome to a new video on my channel. So today, guys, I have something very special for you. It's gonna be my first ever tutorial, and what I'm gonna be showing you today, guys, is the control/interface tutorial, how you can set up the best controls and interface, and what every single option and setting in those both categories do, and why I think one is better than the other. As a whole are the pros and cons of both. So what I did is I recorded the video footage in voiceover live, and obviously it's not going to be the best voiceover because I'm not a native English speaker, and sometimes I use inappropriate language or use words wrongly, like putting them in the wrong places, etc. So hope you excuse me for that. I really want to create the guide for you guys and put it out as soon as possible, but if you want a better edited, better voiceover guide, smash the like button. I'm going to recreate this one as well, create other guides that are going to be at the best level possible. I hope you are going to enjoy the video despite all the mistakes I made while I talk. Sorry, let's open our settings, and yeah, obviously I've set it as you're gonna have it as normal, so like whenever you start up with the game and you haven't changed anything. So first off, camera distance, like now you can have it on close. I can't show you here, but I'm gonna pull up on the screen a close to normal comparison, and you can have it close and you can have it on normal. So yeah, I mean normal is way better because you're gonna see way more of the screen. Of course, close can be good if you wanna only focus on yourself and like what you're doing, but you still won't see nearly as much as with normal, and normal is just way better. Other thing is outlines. I don't really know what they do. It doesn't seem to change anything, like I can show you. At first though, is whenever you attack somebody, as you see, there's an outline on him. But even if I turn them off, and let's get out of range for example, and go to attack again, they show up. So it's not that, I don't think it's much of a difference whatsoever. So you can keep it on, you can keep them off, it doesn't really matter, it seems. Let's get to controls now, because the other things are pretty much, if you want it, like frames per second doesn't really matter. Like camera movement, obviously you should keep on slide, because I mean joystick is really hard to use. Let me show you. Alright, so there is a joystick. Wait a second. Yeah, there's the joystick. I mean it's fine, but at the same time you can do that. Whoop and whoop. And yeah, it's just way quicker, way simpler, and way better as a whole. And also like this camera sensitivity is all preferences, so you can set it up as you feel. And also, I mean, you shouldn't really change it once you use one for like some time, because you're definitely gonna get used to it, and there's literally no point in changing it after that. So to get straight into controls. Okay, so first things first, target lock mode. Now what this is essentially going to do, it's gonna decide whether you have a say in who the character targets. So auto lock, let's start with auto lock because it's the default one. And also there's another setting which is attack mode, which is only available, as you can see, if you have it on auto lock. So if you go and choose target, you can't access the attack mode. So let's go back to auto lock. So what auto lock is essentially, the computer picks up the target for you. You don't do anything, you just press the tap the attack button, and yeah, that's about it. What else is the attack lock mode feature? Well, that is the attack mode menu over here. So you can have auto attack, which is literally computer does everything. You just press the button, smash it, slam your face all over the thing, it's gonna attack whoever. But if you choose minions and towers, what it does is add those two buttons here, as you can see. This one, oops, let me stop attacking the guy, and this one. Now, of course, here are no minions or no towers, so I can't really show you. But what essentially they do is, whenever you press the attack tower button, which is this one up top, you're gonna start attacking only towers, so you can't target anything else. So just press it, and then you're gonna start attacking towers. If you press the minions button, same thing is gonna happen. You're gonna start attacking minions. Now, when minions end, or when there are no more minions you can attack, you're gonna start attacking other people, or whatever is in your range, of course. But as long as there are minions and you keep pressing the button, you're gonna attack minions. As long as there are towers and you keep pressing the button, you're gonna attack towers. And of course, this one is true. The middle one, or like the big attack button, is gonna be to attack whatever is in range. Okay, so let's get back to settings. Now, if we go to choose target, those two buttons that were right there get replaced with another two buttons. And what essentially those buttons are, here you can select to attack heroes with this one. With the other one, you select to attack minions. So what is different, you might ask? Well, this time around, you can choose to attack heroes. You can choose to, because before you could never choose to attack heroes, or you would hope the computer chooses to attack heroes, which usually it prioritizes attacking heroes unless you give them the command to attack minions or attack towers. Here, if you press to attack minions, you're gonna attack jungle creatures, minions, and towers in range. So those three things are manipulated by this one button. In the other one, though, if you press heroes, you're only, and I mean only, gonna attack heroes. And why is that important, you might ask? Well, that is really important because in team fights, imagine you're team fighting in the middle lane and there are minions all over the place. You don't want like by chance start attacking minions. So you can press the button. It's gonna mark the hero that is in your range. Of course, depending on how you've set it, it's gonna mark certain hero, and yeah, it's gonna start attacking the hero. So let's talk about those two features. What is better and why, in my opinion? So for targeting lock mode, it's way better to use choose target because you have way better control than without lock. And for attack mode, if you choose to go out lock, you should definitely, and I mean definitely, go to minions and towers because it's not really hard to use, is it? Just two more buttons, they're right around the attack button, and you can. It really isn't too hard to learn. But if you're gonna say you're not committed yet to go to choose targets, go to outlook, go to minions and towers, practice it for a while, and then go make the switch to choose targets. And then I'm almost 100% sure you're not gonna feel that it's difficult to do the choose target lock mode. Now let's talk about targeting priority. Now targeting priority is very difficult to explain or to say which the best one is, because it's very hero and situational. Like, say you have a team fight where the enemy team is pushing with their tanks up to you. Then of course you're gonna wanna attack the guy that is nearest to you, and you wanna kite back because this is gonna give you the best chance of survival, and still you're gonna put out damage. Say you have a fight where you're flanking somebody. Yeah, you're flanking somebody. Then you're gonna need to attack someone with either the lowest HP percentage, which means they have the computer takes into account how much HP they have and how much percent of that HP they have. So that's still very debatable if it's good, but this is probably the best. I'm not gonna say the best, but very, very strong for frontliners and backliners. So what are frontliners? Frontliners are your tanks, your warriors, the ones that are gonna go in and just like CC the enemy team, distract their carries, etc. Now what are backliners, you might ask? Well, backliners are your mages, your AD carries, your marksmen, I mean, your supports. Those guys are gonna stand further back behind the tanks and the warriors that are engaging, and they're gonna do their thing. They're gonna either attack with spells, attack with auto attacks, or heal or shoot or whatever the support type is. And now why is that good? Because this is gonna give you a chance for your team to kill maybe some valuable target. Now what, of course, you can't always focus the valuable target with just this feature, so let's talk about lowest HP amount. Now lowest HP amount is the best for assassins if you use, because why? Because as an assassin you wanna go in, you wanna kill their backliners, you wanna kill their support, their AD carry or their marksman, and their mage. This is the three targets you wanna focus. In getting one of them, because assassins, that's their strong point, of course. Going in, killing somebody instantly, somebody squishy instantly. Squishy means that they don't have much health. So that's why you want to focus the guy with the lowest HP amount. That is very important. So that means that at this moment they have the lowest HP. So say there is tanks and and warriors on the front line, and carries and mages and supports in the backline. Usually tanks are gonna have around twice, maybe even more, the HP of the backliners, and warriors sometimes twice. Like, it's kind of a rough description of their HP. And as assassin, you usually go in one of the first people to go in, because if you see somebody out of position, like say the marksmen have so it's pushed all the way up to the tanks. Now what you do is go in, assassinate him, and then run back to your team. And because he was in a position that you, whenever go in for him and kill him, or do a lot of damage to him, are closer to your team, or in your team's backline, and he's closer to his backline, that means that your team and your front line and backline is going to be able to support you, and in getting you out, and in fighting as well afterwards, then faster than his backline should be able. And because assassins have this like jumping mentality, kill the guy, get out. That's usually what assassins have their kit suitable for. And because of that, it's gonna be the backline, so like the support and the mage are gonna have almost no time to react on your attack. And if you focus the lowest HP amount target, they're gonna be dead. They're gonna be straight up dead. And as I explained, this is best for assassins. It's best for backliners, as I said before, like marksmen and mages, because you want to kite back, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You want to kite back and you want to stay alive. So here, I usually tend to keep it on the lowest HP amount because it's like the safest option. But this really doesn't come into account when I play, because I use the other option, which is avatar lock mode. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is avatar lock mode. Now why is that important? Now avatar lock mode is in fact the most important thing for you as a backliner, any frontliner, and anything, any role in a specific team fight. This is the best way to control your character in the fight. But why is that? Because when you press show avatars for available target, do you see this little icon of Tain right here? So what it means is, let's say there's a hectic fight, like everyone's going in, everyone's backing out, you engaging, fight is going on for 30 seconds, and say you see Tain is getting very, very low. Now, you're not sure that as previously explained, the targeting priority is gonna necessarily focus Tain. So what you can do is press on the targeter, and your character is gonna start attacking Tain until you like disable him from doing that. So this is really, really, really good for controlling your character in team fight. This is the single probably most important thing for backliners to have on. Like, it's very hard. Yeah, I know it's very hard to learn, because they're in team fights you're gonna have up to 5 icons right there, and you might misclick, you might click on somebody else you don't want to click, but it is the best, and I mean single-handedly the best way to control your targeting priority. It's the better version of target priority option. Way better. Of course, when you hide it, there's nothing, and you might attack. Say Tain might be 1 HP and you attack the guy next to him because, well, the computer decided so. And here you have chance to say, no computer, I want to attack Tain and I want to kill him. So I tend to leave the show avatars. I mean, I've always used that option for every mobile game, MOBA I've played, so you should definitely try and learn it. It's very, very important. Coming up next is ability targeting. Now here you have the choice between ability wheel, which is your wheel right here. When you press a spell, you have this wheel, you can rotate the spell, you can shoot in any direction you want, as long as there's an available target. Like for example, you can't just shoot this thing, you can't just shoot Valheim's 2 because it requires a target. But here you go, if you have a target here, as you can see, I can rotate it around and shoot him with it. Now the other option is, as you can see here, the other option is auto aim. Now what auto aim usually does is it tends to focus heroes. So let's choose auto aim, and you just press on the spell and it sends it towards the nearest target it can. Usually, that's what I say, usually it tends to target heroes. But with the ability wheel, you have way better control than anything. Like you might predict something, like say Valheim's W, you don't need target to fire it. So you might fire it right here, like right there, like this. But the target might be sitting right where Tain is, because the target might be moving. And the computer is not always gonna assume that the target is gonna move to another position, so it's gonna fire it immediately in the position the target is currently in. So it might mess it up. There's a slim chance to mess it up, but it's not it's not worth taking in my opinion. Ability wheel is not really hard to use. This is the default setting anyway, so you've probably played around with it a lot, but till now, so yeah. The other thing is ability cancellation. Now to me this is all according to preference again, because both ways are pretty useful. So right now, by default, you have this Higgs up there, so if I like decide to fire ability, but I'm like, nah, I just drag my finger up to the Higgs and it just disappears. The other option, of course, is the drag outside the ability area. Now this is pretty much the same, because the Higgs is very much outside the ability area, so you can just drag out and just drag out here where the Higgs was, cancel, drag out here, cancel, drag out here, cancel. Because that might be a little better and more precise, it's quicker for people, because you didn't have to, like, say I was aiming down here at the tower, and now I don't have to do this move to disable, I can drag down below and it's the same result. But I keep it on drag to cancel button because I'm more used to it. And as I say, both ways are good, so choose where you prefer. Now the ability wheel placement. Now this is again down mainly to preference. Both ways are pretty decent, and yeah, let's show, like, you're used to the first way where you press and the ability starts on the button. So you move it here, and that's all. You cancel, for example. You move here and you cancel. Sometimes abilities will start like this. As you can see, it's starting up there. And if I want the target to be right here, I'm gonna have to move it. Now what the other option allows you to do is the center in the finger. So say I press right here, I'm not gonna be screwed by the ability to like, because say we're team fight, so I'm fighting, and I'm like, oh, I gotta use my ult. This very in the spur moment of decision, and I might press the button a little bit to the side. Now what this option allows me to do is gonna do it as if I centered it. So say I wanna press it here, but I wanna target the down below. I'm not gonna have to take such a long way as if with the other one, because let me show you. If we are centered on the button, and I press, wait, no, I press pretty right there. But if I press this side, I'm gonna have to drag pretty down here to get it to work. So yeah, it's a minor difference, not really something huge. Like, as I say, the second way is better for quick decisions, and maybe sometimes if you misclick, I would just use the second version, or the second way. Now ability sensitivity is all preference, and you should not change it when you get used to one, because it really is gonna change the way you feel about the game and like you react to the game. So once you get used to one certain sensitivity, don't change it to another one. I'd suggest you don't change it to another one. And that's it for the controls. I'm gonna show you all I have activated now, and those are the controls to use. So I have the choose target on target lock mode. Obviously attack mode is disabled because of that. On targeting priority I have the lowest HP amount, lowest HP percentage. On avatar lock mode I have the show avatars for available targets. On ability targeting I have the ability wheel. On ability cancellation I have the cancel button or the Higgs. On ability sensitivity I have it all the way maxed up. And on ability wheel placement I have it centered on the button. But those are my preferences. You can have others, of course. I gave you guidelines to why I prefer those and why I think those are better than the others. Now let's go on to interface. Alright, so here we start. Quick buy placement. Okay, so as you see now, my quick buy placement is right here, and I can click on an item and buy it. Okay? So, in my opinion, having it right like this is way, and I mean way better. Now first you're gonna be like, what the, like, you're gonna be surprised. Wait, that doesn't look right. Why is my thing there? Well, so here we go. I'm gonna try to explain to you why this is easier and better. No, not easier, but better. So first, when you move, if your thing is above it, you're gonna have to stop move, press to buy something, and then continue moving. Of course, you can click it with your other hand, but still, like, it might mess with the thing, as you see, with your movement. So not the best option, I think. What it does, as I can move now, I can press to buy items freely. Pretty decent, eh? Another thing is, when it's like down here, like the foot, it's gonna take up a lot of space on the screen. Like, as you can see, it's way bigger. As well as the scoreboard is also way bigger because it has the scoreboard button and stuff like that. When it's on the right side, you don't see the little 3 horizontal lines, and the icons for the items become way smaller, so it takes up a lot less space on the screen. Way better. I mean, it's easier access because, yeah, you didn't have to stop moving. It takes up less space. Greatly better. Now you might be thinking, now how do I activate my scoreboard? How do I say it? You just press right here, bang. You don't need an additional button. Just press on the score, and Bob's your uncle. Funny or not, that's all you wrote for that. Now about expanded minimap placement. In my opinion, it's better to have it on the left side because your button is here, and when you're here, you just wanna immediately press. Yeah, sure, it might be difficult a little bit because you might have to start moving or use your other finger to do it. Like, it's not that big of a deal because usually it's a quick click and then you continue moving. You can also do it with your other hand, so it's way better than the buy option because it opens up a separate window. It doesn't really mess up with your moving. Like, as you can see, it didn't mess up until it closed down the window. Okay. So if it's on the right side, what it does is whenever you press this button, oops, sorry, come on now. No, you press it, it pulls up the map on the right side, so you can use your hand to keep moving, even though it doesn't, like, it's not over your movement pad, so to speak. Now I prefer it on the left side. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong thing. On the left side. Now, quick buy info. Quick buy info is very important for new players because it shows you here. Okay, let me buy an item because it's not going to show it to you. As you can see, when I buy an item, it tells me this item is going to give me 80 attack and unique passive something. It's not the complete info, but you get like some idea about the stats that are going to come in with this item. And I'm like, oh, I want damage, so let me buy this item. Oh, I want HP, let me buy this item right now. So it's very important for new players, but it really doesn't hurt to have even on experienced players. When you have it disabled, yeah, oh, what did this 450 item do? I can't remember right now. And if you have it turned on, oh, it gives me 40 attack damage. Well, let me buy that. Now let's get back to targeting info. What is targeting info is whenever you come close and mark a target, up here in the top left, in my case, or if you have the normal design, is going to be in the middle pretty much. It shows you information about the target. It shows you how much health they have right now out of their full health. It shows you how much attack damage they have. It shows you how much magical power they have. It shows you how much physical defense they have, and it shows you how much magical defense they have, and how much mana also below. So that is pretty useful information. You can get quick glance at where you find it. Oh, Tain is currently 2000 HP. Go kill Tain now, guys, or something like that. You can define where some of the, or maybe you were gonna say, oh, Tain has very high physical defense, but he doesn't have that much magical defense, so mage focus Tain, or something like that. Or, oh, Tain is dealing attack damage, so I need to prioritize building armor items instead of magical defense items. Now let's continue on chat room. Now chat room is depending on the person, depending on the people you play with. Chat room is pretty important usually because maybe someone is gonna say, hey, I need help top, and you need to go, like for example, and you might go help him. But oh, even though he can do it with the quick chat right here. Well, I currently don't have it enabled, but yeah, pretty much that. You can say with a quick chat, but someone might write in. But sometimes someone might get annoyed or pissed off at you. Might type something that you don't really want to see. So it really depends on the guy if he wants to have his chat room enabled or not. Now, minimap window outline. Now, what is that, you might ask? Is that little white thing, as you can see, that moves whenever I go to the map. And that is also very important for new players. So you might be walking around the map and like see a little bit of, what are you gonna see? A little bit of like stone on the edge. Like, oh, what is that? And you might look at the edge of the white box and see that you're picking inside the blue buff. And you're gonna probably realize eventually it's good way, like when you turn it off. Let's turn it off. Minimap outline. It doesn't show anything, like you don't have the outline. It's not that hard to like see, oh, my character is near the blue buff, that must be the blue buff. But still, it's cool to have it on. I don't think it's gonna hurt anybody, so it's good for it's definitely important for new players. It doesn't have to have on experienced players as well. And last comes the in-game tips. Now let's turn it on. Okay, so I just found out that you can't position the quick buy placement on the left if you have the quick tips enabled. So what tips are essentially, it's gonna tell you like, oh, look at this. This is a health buff. Pick it up. Oh, this is a tower. Don't go close to it. It's gonna attack you. Oh, this is a monster. Oh, this is a blue buff. I don't know why they're not showing up right now, but as you can see from the preview, that's pretty much it. It's gonna tell you attacking enemy heroes within range of enemy tower will cause to die. It's gonna be literally tips. That's important for new players, but it is not needed at all for any experienced players. It's like nothing that is important. So that's it, guys. Let me show you my interface settings. My interface setting on quick buy placement, I went right side. On expanded minimap placement, I went left side. On quick buy info, I've enabled quick buy info, I've enabled target info, I've enabled chat room, and I've enabled minimap window outline, while I've disabled the in-game tips. On controls, I went target lock mode for choose target, attack mode is therefore disabled. On target priority, I went the lowest HP percentage. On avatar lock mode, I went to show avatars for available targets. On ability targeting, I went the ability wheel. On ability cancellation, I went the drag to cancel button. On ability wheel sensitivity, I have it maxed out. On ability wheel placement, I have it centered on the button. And in general, I have the outlines on, which doesn't really make a difference in my opinion. I have the camera distance on normal, and I have the camera movement with slide, and the camera sensitivity set on that. So there we go, guys. That's all from today's video. It's a bit of a long one, but I hope you enjoyed despite my little language mistakes. Don't forget to smash the like button if you want to see a better edited and voiceover guide for this and many others. Follow my social media accounts if you can't get enough of me. Click on the link to the left to watch my previous video. Click on the link to the right to watch a random fun video of mine, and click in the middle to subscribe. Peace.